You a question. Who here would like more confidence, more self-esteem, more inner peace, more clarity, more connection? One or all of the above. And if that's you, you can put yes in the chat, and I'll just pull up the chat so I can see you guys. Here we go. Me. Okay, great. Thank you. Oh, yes. And I have a feeling there's not one person on the planet, not even a little kid, that wouldn't want more of all of those things, right? We're never done. I love it. Yes, 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 yes. Great. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I like to see you're here, you're here. I feel your energy when you chat. Thank you. Okay, and put a little heart with oh, how do I put a heart for everyone? Yeah. Yay. Okay. So second question, I'm gonna have you start to just get engaged and start feeling reflection inside. I would like for you to think of, and I'll give you about 60 seconds. Think of one of your happy memories. Doesn't have to be the happiest, but any happy memory from childhood. Just think about that for a minute. And if you'd like, you can breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just think of it might be an image flashes across your mind. And think of that happy moment as a child. And if you can or willing, feel free to do, you can click on the react button and raise your hand there. Or you can put in the chat one of your memories that came up as a child. I'm going to look for the chat. What was one of your happy memories as a child? Okay. Cooking with my grandma. Oh, that's one of mine too. Oh, I love that. Going to an amusement park. I love that. Yay. Playing night tag with siblings and friends. Oh, how fun. Yay. And scary. Furry. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Any more? I'll just wait, just in case. All right. Riding bikes with my brothers. I love that. Yay. Okay. So now I'm going to ask you, it's going to get a little deep now, okay? Um, What are the emotions? Oh, swimming every summer, playing by myself, quiet, peace and quiet. Oh, okay. I love swimming in the summer, playing by myself, peace and quiet. I can relate to every one of these. One of mine was riding bikes. Now I'm going to ask you to put in the chat, what are the one or two emotions, the feelings that you had cooking with grandma, going to the amusement, whichever one you said, what was the emotional experience that you had from that, which you shared? Joy. Okay, so the amusement park was joy. Perfect. Uh-huh. What emotional experience did you have doing that thing you just shared? Okay, we have peace, calm, and balance. Beautiful. Mm. Fun. Good. And if you can put a couple of words, you'll have a little more to play with for the next part of the exercise. Okay, excitement, happy, connected, great, good. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a hard question. Where fun swimming with others. Yay, perfect. Okay. Peace, calm, balance. Oh, and the fun was swimming with others. Great, thank you. So now I'm going to ask you to look at what you just typed and ask yourself, what is the opposite of those words? And where, what is the opposite of joy? And if you can type that in, the opposite of peace, calm, or balance, what would that be? Anxious, maybe, maybe out of balance with I don't know, um, fun would be maybe working too much. Not having enough fun would be the opposite. What is it? Excitement would be maybe boring or um, stuck, mundane. Happy and connected would be okay. So beautiful. So the opposite of joy, we have boredom, stressed, overworking. Okay. And then we have, so the opposite of fun and balance and peace was rushed and imbalance. We have sad and alone, okay, instead of happy and connected. And lack of focus, okay, beautiful. And lonely and sad instead of, so that was the example of night tag, which created excitement, and the opposite of excitement is sad and lonely. Okay, now we're going to go a little bit deeper and ask you to take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, telling your central nervous system, telling your emotional well-being that you're in charge. Your emotions are not in charge of you. But I want you to ask this question now. Where in your life, in your adult life today, do you feel those opposites that you just typed in? Interesting, huh? One of the happiest moments we think of, we're usually craving that vitamin, that emotional vitamin, because there's something in our waking life that is lacking some of that nutrition, okay? Emotional nutrition. So where in your life do you feel sad or alone? Is it in your marriage? Is it in work because you don't have work friends that you connect to there? Is it at home? Where do you feel sad and alone? What part of your life? And in my work with my clients, we talk about I have a little thing called a star chart. This is also in my book coming up this year. But there's physical category of our lives, there's intellectual, there's emotional, there's spiritual and financial. So where do you feel rushed or imbalanced? Where do you feel bored or stressed or overworking? What part of your life? Where do you feel lack of focus or lonely or sad? Okay, thank you for sharing. So the sad and the lonely was in the category of marriage. Okay, just identify that if you can. Breathe in and feel that in your heart. That's where the sad and loneliness is taking up space. Okay, so what we're doing is an awareness technique. And I teach that there's 3 phases to all personal progress, all personal growth. Also in my book, the 3 A's. And the 3 A's, and I'll type them in here so you have them, are awareness and acceptance, oops, and aligned action. Okay. So what we're doing right now is an awareness tool. I teach 43 techniques and actually more than that, but those are my core. And we do deep diving kind of activities like this that help us get more aware of what's inside. And we have about 70,000 thoughts per day, and 95% of them are subconscious. So we're like, you know, 5% we're conscious of those thoughts. We know what we're thinking, and the other 95 is just like floating around. And majority of those thoughts are almost exactly the same as the day before, unless you're doing some deep recalibration with someone like me. And then you become a lot more aware, and that alignment, the 5% gets really strong. So anyway, so awareness, acceptance. Okay, so we have one person who is brave enough to say where that area of their life might be showing up. And okay, so we have another person. that said boredom shows up when I don't feel whole. So that would be the self. So it's a spiritual self, right? Our self identity, whether that's connected to God or stardust or, higher self. So this is where you are bored, okay, in the spiritual part, okay, or self identity. Okay, so feeling bored. Thomas, rushed and stressed when procrastinate doing something I need to do. Yeah, so beautiful. So that rushed feeling and stress is really the opposite of the amusement park and the joyful thought that you had. And it's showing up, it sounds like, in your work or studies. Okay. All right. So what we're doing is we're identifying where in our adult life there might be some of um, a need for a little bit extra vitamins in that category. Okay. So first we find out kind of where we are on the map, and then we decide, and through the awareness and acceptance phase, then we get into realignment and we align to a higher self, which I'll show you a way of doing that today. Um, And beautiful. So we have another chat said, when I overcommit, I feel rushed. TBH, I don't know what that means. Mm, I don't know enough acronyms. I'm retired, so things have improved. Okay, yes. So a habit of overcommitting definitely um, um, can take away from life when we overcommit. Oh, to be honest, I'm retired, so things have improved. Okay, good. Yeah. And even when we're retired, sometimes we're like, overbooking ourselves on a vacation, even. Like, I don't know about you, but I've been on vacation in Hawaii and I'm like with a bunch of friends and everyone wants to do something every day. And I'm like, okay, but I want to underbook myself a little bit. So sometimes even vacation, we can overcommit, even retirement. We can feel like we can't just sit there and enjoy the lake. We need to be doing something, reading a book or I don't know, picking up, so I don't know, sometimes it's hard for me to just sit there. One of my great mentors says, Tammy, don't just do something, sit there. I'm like, oh gosh, that's horrible. But sometimes that's exactly what I need. So, um, yes. Okay, good. So, now that you have identified a part of your, and so let's recap that. Basically, you looked at a happy memory that floated in your mind, just popped up. Then you looked at the opposite and where that could be showing up in your life. And so we've done awareness and now we're doing an acceptance. And can you just take a moment to see where that feeling shows up in your adult life and just see that that's where you're on the map. It doesn't mean that's who you are, doesn't mean uh, anything about your identity. It just means this is where you are on the map. So if you can breathe some like fresh air into that space,